how honoring these people who defended slavery comes from the same place where you can just leave 25% of the population in poverty and tear down public housing, let the schools deteriorate, horrible conditions in the city jail, and most of this affects the black community. It's cut from the same thing. So, no, the statute is not the biggest issue in Richmond, but it's symbolic of a lot of things. And at this moment, the eyes of the country are on us. The National Public Radio talked about Richmond this morning and about this demonstration. So we're friendly to and supportive of all the protests in the city, but we have our own perspective also. I want to say a couple of words, and then if folks from the BSA or the other organizations want to join in, that's cool too. Hi, what group are you with?
They're rolling with us.
Everybody knows everybody?
Yeah. Okay. How y'all doing?
The plan was to leave here and go 4 blocks down to Broad Street. Now that is not, won't be a march. This is still somewhat of a black community. It's the historic black community. We haven't announced it. We haven't let people know what we're doing here. So we don't want to have a big commotion going through a neighborhood. It's actually being pretty well gentrified, but it still has the character and historic black churches, meeting places, and so on. So we want to get to Broad, walking down the sidewalk. When we get there, there may be people who signed up on Facebook to join us. There were like almost over 30 people who said they wanted to work with us today. So we'll pick up those folks, and then we'll go right on Broad Street, 4 more blocks to the Maggie Walker statue. And we can be, that's a commercial area. We can be a little louder, a little more visible. On the sidewalk, cops are waiting to arrest anybody today. We'll say a word about that in a second. When we get to the Maggie Walker statue, 3 groups, the Richmond Peace Education Center, the Unitarians, and the Center for Interfaith Policy Studies, have called for a rally and then originally a march to the Lee statue. We understand they canceled the march to the Lee statue. And they also have described their event as explicitly nonviolent. Well, so is ours. But coming out and announcing that is sort of like saying, we're the good protesters, we're not like those bad people, the Antifa or anybody else. And that's not helpful, because the police are trying to demonize protesters. So as an act of solidarity, we didn't want to adopt that posture. So now, the nonviolent demonstration will not be going to the Lee statue. And the defenders will be going to the Lee statue. And I assume other folks are as well. When we get there, we have one person who's circulating the area in a car, and we'll give kind of a heads up. But our friend Barry last night scoped out the area and said that there are, besides the streets that are blocked off for parking all around the Lee statue, and the Lee statue is blocked off, so you can't go on that property. That's an immediate arrest. There are also barricades set up all around, and it's not just one set of barricades. It's like penned in areas, different ones. And the idea seems to be to break up the crowd, us, into different areas so they can control it. Now, the National Lawyers Guild, who will have people there and they're aware of our condition, they're very friendly. They contacted us and asked if we wanted to do this. They say that they were told by the ACLU that the police will not be separating the Confederates and the protesters.
Okay.
Now, every time we've experienced something like that in the past, it has not gone well. And the police and the mayor have been carrying on a hysterical campaign that today could be Armageddon. It could be a horrible situation. Black Lives Matter. We could be setting fires to cars. And Antifa people could be tearing up the streets and so on. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's meant to make our side a problem. And they have a bit of a problem because there will be hundreds and hundreds of people out there from all kinds of organizations, many of them quite mainstream. So they concentrated in on Antifa, which is a movement, not an organization.
Right.
So what we want to do is get as close to the police statute as possible without getting boxed into a situation that we can't extricate ourselves from if there's a problem. The defenders thought that we would have a couple of folks, George and myself, going as far as we can into the penned areas, take pictures, and let us know. And other folks, of course, you know, it's a coalition. People operate as groups within the coalition. But we'd like to see if we can stay together as a crowd and make an evaluation. And if it looks like this is a trap or worse, a setup, then we have to decide what we're going to do. For ourselves, we don't want to be in a situation that looks like the police are trying to mix up two groups to create a situation to shut everything down, which is exactly what they did in Charlottesville. That's why the police told this thing down. The governor, this is our view, the governor, which is also shared by the National Association of Minority Nazis, that the governor let the fighting happen in order to shut down the rally. So we got to recognize that, you know, we all know the cops are not our friends, but sometimes they're a little more devious. So they also may be freaked out because there's so many murders in the city and they're under a lot of pressure that they can't solve problems. They're angry, they're mad at Nancy Cobb, they're getting a little frisky, you know, after Charlottesville here. But anyway, we want to get to as close as we can, stop at the group meeting, decide how to proceed in an orderly way, and be as bold and upfront as possible without getting ourselves into a chemical situation. Stay as long as necessary until the Confederates leave. And the Confederates, by the way, had so few people at their press conference yesterday, 3 of them, that one of them had to film the press conference. They're an isolated group. We haven't heard any buzz on social media on the right-wing sites. The real problem today is going to be just having exercising a constitutional right to assemble and protest without the cops shutting it down. They're the problem today. That's all I had to say. The National Lawyers Guild, that's their phone number. We have a couple of Sharpies if people would like to write it down. I'll announce it at the end, or you can take my arm. We have a former nurse, a former EMT person here. We unfortunately don't have a whole first aid kit, so don't get too hurt. But small things we can handle. And that's so we got to say thank you so much. And that's what you do.
Just real quick, I don't think I really add too much to the wonderful perspective and everything there, but we've put down a few, like basically a very short checklist. If we actually are trying to get these monuments gone, our perspective is that we need to slam the commission feedback site, we need to slam the Mayor Stoney, and we need to slam Governor McCollum with like emails and calls and all that kind of stuff. And we also have a link to the September 25th hearing, which is where they'll be actually formally proposing the move to tear these down. So we're trying to get as much of that done before the 25th as possible. If you want a flyer, or better yet, a stack of flyers to hand out, either for yourself or for anyone else, grab some.
I know we all finna go out to like probably a dangerous situation, but I don't know whatever God y'all pray to. We all go ahead, just bow our heads and have a moment of silence because we're gonna need some coverage to go out there because it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. I'm hoping it's not. I'm definitely hoping it's not because, like I said, it's a peaceful protest to exercise our rights to do what we feel that should have been done a long time ago. But just in case, you know what I'm saying? It's always good to go out with a little armor, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Everybody bow your heads. You want to? Moment of silence. Do your thing.
One more quick note. If at any point your gas is deployed and if we are in it at all, me, Alex, That's what the bandana is for. Okay. And if you have a bandana, or any kind of cloth, cover your face while you're exiting the cloud.
I definitely don't got one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So as you guys can see, we're just preparing to
Also, megaphone.
get over to the main staging site.
We'd like to share the portable sound system.
You know, like I'm sure you've heard, not expecting any squirrely to happen. But just because you're not expecting it, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be prepared for it. So, as you can see, this is a well-organized effort. It's a coalition effort. Nobody is out here advocating for violence. We're out here advocating for justice.
Good.
So, we're on the march. We're about to get moving. So, we'll be back soon, y'all.
Can we do a little